Okay, so this video just has more examples showing you how to do domain and range. So on number 1, I'm going to do domain and range. So I set it up the same way every single time. Domain, I always start with this setup. And range, I always start, it's the same thing, but with a Y in the middle. So here we go. If I look back at those notes, I know I'm supposed to be drawing a box around this graph. So when I draw the box around this graph, I'm going to start over here and I'm going down. And I stop here because the graph doesn't go farther than that point. So I'm going to go over and stop because the graph does not keep going. I'm going to go back up and over. So there's my nice little box. I know for domain, the first number is supposed to be the number on the left of the box, and the second number is on the right of the box. So I'm going to label left, right. So what is the number on the left? Well, I can see the point that actually is touching the left is up here. What is that X number up there? It's -3. Okay. And is that an open or closed circle? If it's open, we're leaving it not including, not equal to. If it's closed and filled in, then we're going to add an extra line. Well, this point is open, so I'm going to leave this alone. I don't have to put an extra line. Okay. On the right side of the box, I can see this is the point. And what is the X number of that point? Well, look up at the X axis. It says a 1. So I'm going to put a 1 over there. Now this point right here, was that open or closed? Well, that's a closed circle. So then I'm going to put an extra line underneath because we want it to include the number 1, not just go up to 1 and stop before it gets there. So my domain looks like this: -3 less than X less than or equal to +1. Okay. For my range, I do the same thing, but my numbers are coming from the bottom of the box and the top of the box. So I'm going to label bottom, top. So on the bottom of the graph, I can see that there's 2 places that touch the bottom, right here at the bottom of that curve and this kind of endpoint over there. Also, both of them touch the bottom. So does it matter which one I use? Well, whether it's open or closed, that's going to tell me, but they're both going to tell me it hits the same number. What number does it hit? Well, it's hitting the Y number -4 down there. So I'm going to put -4. Now, is it open or closed? Well, this point over here is closed. This doesn't have a point. The line is just going through it. When that happens, that counts as closed. Okay? So closed or closed, in this case, they're both closed. So what should I add? I got to add the or equal to, the extra line. Okay, because it does include the number -4. So our graph starts at -4 and then goes all the way up. And where does the top of the graph hit? Well, it hits at this kind of top of the hill right there. It also hits over here. Now, they're both touching the same number. What is the Y number? It's a 0 when it's touching that line. So we're going to put 0. Now we have to figure out, is it opened or closed? Now I can see this point over here is not filled in, so that says open. But this line is going through that point, and we just said down here that when the line goes through it, that's closed. So if you have one open and one closed, you're going to go with closed. It's closed somewhere, so we're going to put the extra line. It actually touches 0 at some place, so we need to include it. Okay, so our range starts at -4 and includes -4, and goes all the way up to 0 and includes 0. So this is what my answer would look like. It is important that if it needs the extra line, you're putting it. If it doesn't need the extra line, you're not putting it. Okay, it does matter. Another one we would be doing would be like this. This is pretty similar to the last question, so I'm not going to do this one. The last one I'm going to do is this one. So first step, I'm going to draw my box. Here's my nice little box. I'm noticing there are no extra spaces. The line takes up the entire box. I shouldn't have like going all the way over to -6 over there because the graph doesn't go over to -6. So I'm going to set up my domain and range. Blank less than X less than blank, and my range, same thing but with a Y. Okay, so here we go. For my domain, we're talking about the numbers on the left and the right, right sides of the box. So what is the number on the left side of the box? Well, it's got to be an X number. My X number is over here at -5. Is that an open or a closed circle? Well, that one's closed. So when it's closed, what kind of symbol? Should I be putting the line or not putting the line? I should be putting the line. That's what closed means. So I put the line. On the right side of the box, what's the X number? Well, what's the X number right there? It says +4. I look at the point that's actually over there. Is that open or closed? Well, it's not filled in, so that means it's open. What should I do with the symbol? Leave it alone. I don't need to change it. So this is my domain, -5, less than or equal to X, less than 4. So it goes all the way up, but does not include 4. For my range, we're doing from the bottom to the top. Gonna label bottom, top. So on the bottom of my graph, what is the Y number on the bottom? Well, I can see the Y number right there. I believe is -5 if I counted 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's at -4. See, it's a good thing I counted. So -4. Is it an open or closed circle down there? Well, where's the point that's actually touching the bottom? Is over here. And that's an open circle. So I leave this alone. Leave the symbol alone. It's open. On the top, I can see the top of my box is going through the middle right here. When it goes through the middle, what Y number is in the middle? Well, that's a 0. Now the point that's actually touching up there is over here. Is that an open or closed circle? Well, I could see that's filled in, so that's got to be closed. So what do I do with the symbol? Extra line. Gotta have it. If you need to see those examples again because it was too fast, we'll re-watch the video. Otherwise, you're going to start the Go formative.